Hello, hello. This is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com, bringing you another edition of Dragons and Pioneers. So far, I've been having a lot of fun with this Azorius Dragons build. I mean, it's not really exactly what we want to find in our... We could just end up dying a bunch of 3-drops, essentially, with a little bit of removal. Let's try one land, 2 lands. Alright, well this is better because we have... things to do. We have our removal, but we also have ways to tap things down. Drew into a counterspell, arse into a land for our counterspell. March of Otherworldly Light can answer a problematic permanent. Opponent's not doing anything yet. Drew into our Ojutai. Cool. Alright. We're not going to Dragonstorm yet. We'll save our... We'll use this to draw a card. Just trying to make our land drops at this point. And hopefully, I mean, they're missing land drops themselves, so we're hoping they don't find... Right, well, we have multiple dragons, so I think we're going to put... I mean, it does get us more than dragons. Let's not shortchange it. But we want lands and dragons. We have 2 March of Otherworldly Lights, 1 counterspell, 2 dragons. We just want lands. So we can always draw off this 3 steps ahead if it comes to it. Opponent struggling to make their land drops, it would appear. Moss Wood Dread Knight. Yeah, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Trample when this creature dies and may cast it from your graveyard as an adventure until the end of their next turn. Got it. Okay, well that does give us something to do with our March of Otherworldly Light. They're missing black mana, that's the problem. They would have rather drawn a card off of that. I mean, we'll just keep that there. I think we can take a hit and hold up counterspell magic. I think our opponent might have missed too many land drops, but we'll see. I'm just curious what they're doing over there. They have some shenanigans. Alright. Abzan Charm, man, I haven't seen that one in a while. Seven cards from our opponent. Makes me kind of want to just run this Vigilant guy out here first. If they have a way to make a sack, it gets sort of replaced. Next turn it sets us up to draw more cards and keep up counter magic. Fatal Push. Got discarded to hand size, it looks like. Opponent desperate to make their land drops. They find a Temple Garden. Put any number of non-land permanent cards with total mana 4 or less from among them. That's not. We're not going to get a lot of hits. Dragonologist. Put any number of non-land permanent cards with total mana value 4 or less from among them onto the battlefield. High Noon would be pretty good to stop our opponent's plans. Alright, so this allows us to attack next turn with counter magic up if they don't have a way to kill it now with the sacrifice effect. They're in Abzan, so there are plenty of ways to make us sack things like Liliana, but they're missing another Black Source. So they can't Liliana us. Thoughtseize. Well, Boo and Hiss. That's their one spell, but there goes our 3 steps ahead, I imagine. Yep. Not really what we wanted to find. I mean, I imagine they have a kill spell after they took our counter spell. So the Wandering Emperor. Exile artifact creature or enchantment. Well, that's unfortunate. We are unable to exile the Wandering Emperor. Guess we should have put the Clarion Conqueror on the battlefield, huh? Alright, opponent. You're making your land drops, finding your answers. What is your one spell this turn? Looks like they just have a handful of removal, which does not bode well for us. But we did find a dragon that we can use to attack down the Planeswalker. Return that to our hand. Thank you very much. What kind of kill spell is in your hand now, opponent? Another land. Siege Rhino. That's a good one. I do like me a Siege Rhino. This costs 5. Play a land. 1, 2, 3. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fatal push the dragon with a black source that I did not see. Oh yeah, was there this thing? All right, I mean we're doing what we came here to do, which is to slow our opponent down, draw a bunch of cards with our dragons that slow our opponent down, and win by a combat in the air. Slowly, maybe, but still. Number 2. Wandering Emperor, I guess. Yeah. So I'll target mono-colored permanent. Well, that is unfortunate. Sure. Nothing we can do about it. Okay. Dragon Turtle! Oh man. What a great card. No one sees it coming. Our opponent's down to 1 card. Can we navigate this board state? They have a Wandering Emperor. I kind of just want to draw cards, but then again, this thing, if we let's see, Ward 2, so this, they can exile our Dragon Turtle if they so choose. We can draw some more cards. Why? Okay. So the magic is losing, or is... Alright, well our opponent will bring in the Get Losts, and we'll bring in some Supreme Verdicts. I don't even know why that happened. Dragon Turtle, I mean, it's so good. I'm not. I mean, does that mean we don't get to finish our game? Why did it? I don't know why it forced us to. We're just starting the whole match over after sideboard. Cool. Very nice. Keep it. Our opponent, I'm sure, will have brought in some Thought Seizes. I really enjoyed this deck, and our opponent is playing a very mid-rangey deck. We had the card advantage by a little bit, but um, it's really challenging. You know, like they stick a Wandering Emperor, answer some threats, puts us under some pressure. I mean, I do like me a Dragon Turtle, but I think that goes in the graveyard for now. I mean, the best thing about High Noon in this deck is we're not just a control deck, right? But we have things like Dragon Turtle can cast at Flash speed, and maybe that's the only thing. But then we have our Omen side of a spell. We have some removal. That's instant speed. So I mean, it allows us to do our one thing in a turn and still have a lot of other stuff we can do in a turn and on our opponent's turn. So we end up getting ideally to play more. I mean, obviously every deck is going to be playing instant speed removal for the most part, or instant speed cards for the most part. So it's not like our opponent's totally shut out of it, but it does slow them down, especially these combo type decks. What do we find? That's the first. So that was my first AO the Dawn trigger. Death trigger, that is. Supreme Verdict or... Man, look at all that. I would love to have the Roiling. Maybe there you can't have enough Supreme Verdicts. I don't know. That might be the right move. Just to... take another Supreme Verdict as insurance. The Wandering Emperor, though, man, what a powerful magic card. Maybe I should put that in this deck, because it does have Flash. Liliana, yeah, we were afraid of that last game. And so the other thing about Planeswalkers is that they can get around this High Noon pretty well because they can be activated. But if we can find, for instance, Dragonologist. We care about the Dragonologist. It does find us some answers. So the High Noon and the Temporary Lockdown is Nombo, as we have learned. So we're going to keep it going. Player discards a card. We kind of want all of our cards. Okay, we need to press OK, I suppose. Getting rid of our combo pieces, knowing we're... Oh, that was a mistake. That was the first time I've clicked through when I've had the Dragon Turtle. Pump fake. So I mean, they might have they have 3 cards in hand, right? So they can cash the Liliana in if they want to make us sack this, and that's fine. We'll get some replacement cards hopefully. We kind of don't want them just to make us discard. We'd rather them cash this in, obviously. If they don't have a kill spell, that's probably what they're gonna do, because otherwise we just kill the Lily. All right, see what our opponent's doing. I mean, if they have a kill spell, I think you have to pull the trigger on it. If it's an exile spell, then we're going to be very sad. It's a Siege Rhino. That is fine. We can... Next turn even, we can... They just make us sacrifice the creature. Give us something good, deck. Rolling Dragonstorm would be great. 4, man, it's just not that... 4 is just not that good. Get lost is good. Gives us something to do. I mean, for what we're paying here, AO, we would hope would do more than 4. 6 maybe for 5 mana. I feel like this is still in the age of power creep, but again, dragons just don't get that many power crept cards. I mean, we might just be straight up dead to Siege Rhinos here. Exile target monocolored permanent. Well, there goes that. No fun for us. And we go to 1. And we die. Yep. I mean, that's fine. We have a Supreme Verdict and they get lost. But chances of us coming back from this are pretty slim. Should have attacked first, at least. I'm not sure if our opponent was trying to do that at sorcery speed. Yeah. Alright, well, we can take out a land. Depending on... and then... But yeah, we're in trouble now. We have not found... Our opponent's had all the answers and we haven't gotten any of our card draw online. We haven't found a single card draw spell. So that's the way we've stayed in our games, is with card draw. Obviously, but... Firing up the Shambling Vent. Staying alive. Staying alive. They went for the kill instead of the card there. They're going to sacrifice. Maybe. What can we find? What do we need? We need a dragon. Oh man. Alright, well that happens sometimes. You just don't find your card draw spells. Okay, don't know. Do we just run it back? The Supreme Verdicts are pretty good. Everything seems pretty good. We just need to find our... The things we found were not gonna... I mean, the Dragonologist, the AO, that stuff just didn't come together the way we would have liked. So we need to mulligan this one lander. And mulligan this one lander. And I guess we keep this. Yeah, sometimes you don't get to play Magic. Especially even if our opponent decides they can just straight up Thoughtseize us. That's unfortunate, man. We needed that second. We had the card, we had the Rolling Dragonstorm in our hand. That's what we want. Alright, we drew our best way out of this. I hate to do it, but I feel like that might be our best bet. I haven't seen a lot of... There hasn't been a lot of targets for our temporary lockdowns. We may should have boarded them out. And we're hoping that our opponent can't really... There's one right there. We're hoping that our opponent can't really do but one spell on turn 2. That's why we went for the Rolling Dragonstorm, and we can do High Noon next turn. Alright, well, we're making our land drops, but our opponent's like removal.deck. So the chances of our creatures living seem pretty slim. But at least if we can get to AO, we can get the Rolling Dragonstorm back. But we'd really love to find like a Dragon Turtle or Clarion Conqueror. Liliana, make us discard. Yeah, a Liliana on an empty board like this, so powerful. Get lost, please. Thoughtseize. Well, that means they're going to take our AO. Yeah, our opponent's got it now. I mean, they're stripping our hand. Another AO. Well, have fun taking the AO. I mean, Liliana on an empty board with Thoughtseize. That's exactly how you beat a control deck. We need to draw Get Lost to have any chance in this game. And it needs to be... We need lands and spells, so we really need to hit Rolling Dragonstorm, a Get Lost, or a land. I mean, that is a Clarion Conqueror that we can go get, and then that shuts down the Liliana. Bounces our Rolling Dragonstorm. If our opponent can just whiff, we really just want them to whiff, but they discarded an Abzan Charm. That means they either have plenty of action creature-wise or a handful of removal. Here comes a Rhino, it looks like. Baby Rhino? Abzan Charm. Alright, no, they just had another one in their hand. I mean, they gotta have, their last card is probably a removal spell. That's what I'm guessing. We still kind of want to get lost though. That's perfect. A land. So worst case scenario, they kill this, make us discard our Rolling Dragonstorm. We still need to make our land drops. I think we just have to live off the top of our deck and hope to find. We just hope that this Abzan deck full of removal does not have a piece of removal for our Clarion Conqueror, because otherwise the Liliana is going to be doing some ultimating, I believe. No removals. Let's dodge some removal, please. Dodge the removal, please. If we can dodge removal and untap, I will feel a lot better about where we're at in this game. Our life total's not great, but so far we managed to dodge quite a bit of nonsense. No, no Rhino, for instance. 2 Abzan Charms to find cards, though. They're thinking about it. I mean, they have to have the removal, right? Of course, yeah. I mean, I don't know what the thought is there, dude. And then you Liliana, ultimate. You don't even have to. You make me discard my Rolling Dragonstorm. I mean, that's what we had. There was no way against the deck we're playing against, if and the way their draws have been. Just the chances that they have no no removal is pretty slim. But hey, you know what? They can do that. Maybe give me a land, and a land, and a high noon, and a land. Choose a pile to sacrifice. So we have no more white sources is what they've gotten rid of. Interesting. I will choose pile 1 to sacrifice. I mean, we do need white, but blue is by far our dominant color. And we don't want to lose our Rolling Dragonstorm. There's an Ojutai. White source. One, two, three, four. So Supreme Verdict gets us out of some stuff, but I think we just need to hope to draw a land. Hope our opponent doesn't have any. So what they could have done last turn, and I think would have been the smarter play. It's hard to say though. They may have another Liliana in their hand, but I think they should have. It's hard to resist an ultimate. Let's say that. But I think they could have made us discard and had their Liliana up to 7, faded 1 draw, and then ultimated. And I think we'd be in a much worse place. But their hand might also just be Rhino and removal, or Lily and removal. Yep, it's a Rhino. It's a Rhino. It's a Rhino. So we really won't, obviously, land. I don't think, with 1 card in our opponent's hand, it's probably removal, but they're getting us down to death with this, actually. So we need a land or temporary lockdown that we can't cast. So I'm pretty sure we're dead now. So 2, 6, 10. And we're dead. So our opponent got there even if they hadn't there's the land. Yeah, I mean our opponent got there even if they did the Lily a little bit sooner than they had to. Because it gave us a chance to play a land into Dragonlord Ojutai, and then we would have taken 8 to 1. I don't know. I think they were in a good spot no matter what. It's hard to lose with an ultimate. But alright, for CyclesGaming.com, this is Johnny Cycles. Catch y'all in the next one.